Have you ever wondered why Buddhism feels so different from most other religions? Why it speaks of no creator God, no eternal heaven, no eternal hell. Why one of the world's oldest spiritual traditions seems to walk a completely different path, quiet, inward, and deeply personal. To understand this, we must return to Buddha himself and to the question that shaped his entire life. Not who created the universe, but why do humans suffer? The Buddha never stood before the world claiming divine authority. He didn't speak as a messenger of a creator. He spoke as a human being who had looked deeply into the nature of existence. In Buddhism, gods are not denied, but they are not central. No God created the universe. No God controls your destiny. And no God can liberate you from suffering. The Buddha taught something both simple and challenging and right action. Blaming suffering on divine will does not remove it. Praying to escape suffering does not dissolve it. Only insight does. This is why Buddhism is not atheistic, but non-theistic. The question is not whether gods exist. The question is whether believing in them frees the mind. Liberation, not belief, is the goal. Many people say Buddhism has no heaven and no hell, but that is only partly true. Buddhism does speak of heavenly and hellish realms, but not as eternal destination. They are temporary states of existence, just like the joy and pain in human life. Heaven is not a reward handed out by a divine judge. Hell is not eternal punishment. They are conditions shaped by karma, the natural law of cause and effect. Actions born of greed, hatred, and ignorance lead to suffering. Actions born of compassion, clarity, and wisdom lead to peace. But no state lasts forever. Eventually, all beings return to the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. And this is why the Buddha didn't teach heaven as the goal. The true goal is nirvana, the end of craving, the end of suffering, the end of cycle itself. Unlike religions focused on the cosmos, Buddhism turns inward. It does not ask who created the world, it doesn't ask who rules it, it does not ask who will judge it. Instead, it asks the one question: why does the human mind suffer? The Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment, from craving, from misunderstanding the nature of reality. And freedom comes not through worship but through insight. Work out your own liberation with diligence, he said. In Buddhism, freedom does not depend on divine mercy, it depends on understanding the mind. When asked about God, the Buddha often remained silent, not because he denied God and not because he affirmed God, but because the question itself didn't lead to liberation. Arguing about creation does not end suffering. Debating the divine does not quiet the mind. What matters are truths that can be directly experienced: impermanence, karma, compassion, mindfulness, and awakening. The Buddha taught that asking does God exist is less important than asking how do I live wisely and free myself from suffering. This is what makes Buddhism profoundly different. It replaces divine authority with personal responsibility. It replaces blind belief with direct experience. It replaces fear of punishment with clarity of understanding. No God saves you, no God condemns you. Your path is your own. For many, this is deeply liberating. There is no eternal threat hanging over the soul. There is no external judge watching every step. There is only awareness and opportunity to awaken. Buddhism is not about denying God, heaven, or hell. It is about understanding suffering and discovering freedom at its root. It reaches It teaches that peace is not given from above, it is cultivated within. And when the mind awakens, fear dissolves, craving loosens, and compassion naturally arises. This is the quietly revelation of Buddha offered the world, not faith in something unseen, but clarity in what is seen. And in that clarity, freedom becomes possible.